This podcast is intended for adults only. We do not condone the use of any illegal substances, and anything we consume is for educational purposes only.
Because, we should be afraid of a plant that grows from the ground. And, endocannabinoid system is, it's in your body and it produces cannabinoids. I mean, you know what? I'm going to stop because I'm going to rant. Just play the music, Mitch.
First two, I drove 6 states, never thought I'd be there right by my side, man. What a time it is to be alive. See, I'm charged up, feeling energized, building enterprise, move supersize. Y'all let you like a side of fries. Whoa, false guys who you idolize. Yeah, go against us, I would not advise. We the highest in the room, just look up once and you can find us. Our song should have more plays, but we too dope, they rewind us. All my talk is lined up, every day my girl get fined up. All my
What's up, everybody? You're listening to the Canna podcast, where we are cultivating conversations concerning cannabis, culture, and creativity. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Mitch Narito.
And it's Eric Esteban here. And today we are talking about seedlings.
Yes.
See, I mean, not for too long. I mean, but I just popped 17 seeds.
17. And last week you were saying like it was a 12-pack of seeds. So why is it?
There just were a lot of seeds in there. It wasn't a 12-pack. It was like a 24-pack or some shit. I don't know. But it was also because they were regular autoflower seeds. So they're
just trying to like.
So maybe they're just giving you more to even out the odds because some of those 17 seeds that I popped, I'm sure there's going to be some male in those seeds. But at that same time, remember we were talking about it last episode that I might just
grow them out,
put those together and see what happens, because I have 5 of them planted outside in smaller pots. So I'm going to see what happens there. I know I'm not supposed to grow. Allegedly, I have them outside.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe I do.
We don't know.
But then I planted 17 seeds. So I have 17 seeds waiting to grow. And of the 17, I believe now 10 of them
have sprouted.
11 have sprouted.
It's interesting because Eric showed me the seeds and I was looking at them and I was like, oh, these ones are crazy looking. And they're actual like herbs and vegetables. I was like, wait, hold on, these are not.
Because I set up the perpetual grow, and so we can set and talk about that. We're going to talk about all the setup because I cleaned up the Buddha Lounge, and now it is all set up. That's what I've called it. I call it the Buddha Lounge because Mitch was so nice to have given me all of his mom's old Buddhas, and so I have all of his old Buddhas, and I have my Buddhas, and so there's a whole bunch of Buddhas in there. So it's the Buddha Lounge. And I used to call weed Buddha. Yeah. So it's called the Buddha Lounge. And I set it up so there's a seedling tent, there's a veg tent, and then there's a mother plant tent where we're going to be getting clones and going to Buds and Roses. And you and I are going to go and buy some genetics together.
I want to, I'm interested. I've never actually bought a plant. I think once when I went to a shop, they gave me a clone. And I was like, I don't know what to do with this.
Oh, man, they gave it to you?
Yeah, and so I was just like, hey, you know what? I don't know what the hell to do with this. But, I guess they knew that people were going to do that. Because, so they're like, okay. So, because it was, one of those collective places. They're like, okay, we'll keep this clone for you. And then we'll give you a discount on today's order. Right? I was like, okay. But I was just like, okay, if I knew what I was doing, you would have given me a clone. And that's I could just grow it out myself. But
what is this collective still open? Maybe we should go there instead of Buds and Roses.
No, I don't think so. This is
I trust Buds and Roses because their clones are very clean. They sweep the genetics. They make sure there's no viruses or any kind of, hops latent virus or any crazy viruses that are going around. I really do trust them because they've been around for so long.
When you say they sweep the genetics, what do they do?
Well, they wouldn't clone a plant that was sick. They make sure that the plant is healthy.
But it's not like they're doing testing or anything. It's just
I'm sure that they're testing their mother plants that they're cloning from. Okay. For sure, that's for sure. I would think that for sure, just because their name is so reputable that they would be doing something, because there's so much going around, especially here on the West Coast, and as far as viruses. So you don't want to. The last thing you want is a virus that you're not really going to be able to see until your plant's kind of fully grown out, and then it's grown out all malformed and funky. You would never clone that anyway. So
Do they have like a return policy? Like if you bring a plant and it dies the next day or whatever?
No.
Like, they won't let you.
I didn't try, but at the same time, each of the clones that I bought 2 clones initially. My very first grow, I bought 2 clones from I believe it was called the Dragon something, Green Dragon, the Green Dragon down in the valley, and then the next 2 clones or next 3 clones, I bought the 2 Chili Verde and the Gelato 33 from Buds and Roses, and since I got the Gelato 33 from Buds and Roses, I am going to be a Buds and Roses customer.
See, I was thinking it'd be like Home Depot, where it's like if you buy a plant, you have 90 days, even if it dies, like within 90 days.
Well, I mean, and I'm sure that if you planted something and it died right away, they'd probably ask you where about where you planted it. But at the same time, I think if it died right away, I'm sure they would replace it.
Because I don't know. I'm just very wishful.
Well, and see, but you'll be buying a plant that I'll be taking care of, and you'll be seeing on a weekly basis. Because you're going to be here recording the podcast, but you'll be here.
Lakers cut, just so you have to.
No, they there's so many different cuts named after. Like I remember there was one dispensary that had this cut called the James Worthy, and that I'll never forget that weed. That was some of the best weed I ever smoked. Was that Worthy weed? Oh, bro! And then I met him when I was bartending. He was sitting at my bar, James Worthy, the actual James Worthy, and I was like, I don't know if you know this, but there's some really good weed named after you.
I want to smoke that Obama weed.
I've smoked that Obama weed. The Obama Kush.
Did it take like 2 joints to become effective?
No, it was. I was like, you wanna smoke this Obama weed, and I said, yes, we can. Now, I'm actually wanted to grow out. There's a seed, a popular seed genetic. I looked it up, named after Obama, that I wanted to grow out. Okay. But that it's on the list of seeds that I want to grow. But shout out to I wanted this. Did we talk about Grambo wearing the?
No, we didn't.
We haven't talked. So like, look on our Instagram and check out the Grambo. Shout out to Grambo from Dude Grows. He wore our Canna Kuya t-shirt at the Dude Grows the DGC Cup, the cannabis championship cup that they have at their big event, and then he posted a picture and gave me a picture with him and Chad Westport, who's like this famous grower on YouTube that I've been following, and I actually wanted to get some of his genetics as well. So like, there's a whole bunch of people online. So shout out to Grambo, shout out to Chad for standing by Grambo when you were wearing the shirt. But it's just a cool thing to see these people that I've been learning from for a while and learning how to grow my own weed, and now I'm connected with them, and they're like, and you should go listen to the Grambo Grows episode where he interviews me, because that's a really cool episode. It's like an hour-long episode with me and Grambo just chilling and talking about comedy and cannabis, kind of like how we're doing right now. Yeah. But as far as the seedlings, I have to say there's so many different ways that this plant has sprouted in the 17 seeds that I've sprouted. It's weird that I've had to kind of go back to my old, like, Googling what's up with this plant type of thing. Cause
wait, give us some examples. Like,
so there were plants that sprouted perfectly right, with the cotyledon leaves first, and now they're getting to get their initial cannabis leaves and popping out, and just like regular seedlings. But then there were some that were really stretchy for some reason, which I didn't understand why, because the light was like right on top of them, and I don't know why they need to be stretchy. But I ended up having to add more soil so that they weren't so stretchy. So they weren't like, because they were almost drooping over because they were getting so stretchy. So I added more soil to the top. And then there were some that I'd never seen before, and I Googled it, and I guess it's apparently a thing, and it's just to let them grow out and see what happens. But they didn't have the initial first leaves; they're just stems. And then, but you can see on the, like, in both cases, there's like a little bulb.
It's like a nodule.
So there might be something that pops, but you never know. They might just die. So I'm not sure, but there's a few different seedlings, and I was able to see it because I popped so many. I've never popped so many seeds, and then, like, of the 5 seeds that I popped outside, only one has popped so far.
Sometimes it takes a while because like
Yeah.
complete like not the same in any way, but I just have a bunch of succulents at home, and like anytime like like a little piece falls off, I'll just stick it in dirt, like whether or not like it's good or not, and then sometimes like just months later stuff sprouts from it, like
Yeah, no, and the thing about like even with because I'm growing dragon fruit, and it was almost like those branches that I'm taping to the bamboo sticks now and trying to prop up, and it's almost like those came overnight because you woke up and one night it was just a stalk, and then the next night you woke up and it was like, oh, what the heck? It's almost like they just when it's their time to grow and spurt and grow, they just it's their time to grow. It's a trip because growing has taught me so much more patience. That's I think the thing that that's the number one thing I think that I've learned from growing is being patient with everything. Like it's allowed me more patience in every single way, except when I was waiting for my drink with that dude from Buffalo Wild Wings.
Eric has beef with Buffalo Wild Wings in Burbank.
No, I don't have beef with anybody. I don't want to be that. I don't like to be that guy when I'm complaining about service. It just sucks when you get a waiter that's not doing their job. But at the same time, whatever.
They can
no
be
big
stoned,
deal. And that's why again you gotta learn patience, and that's why I'm happy that I'm much more patient than I was when I was younger, and I know that's a lot of that is due to the past couple of years of growing and being patient and even just being open to learning. So, but yeah, what else you want to ask about seedlings?
So, what's next? So they're popping right now, like it's first week. So is it technically first week or
first week?
All right. So what's the timeline look like? Next is
I'm going to let them grow out for the next 2 to 3 weeks in those small pots, but then I'm going to have to up pot them, and I'm probably going to only go to those 1 gallon pots, those plastic 1 gallon pots that I have for that small tent, and just keep them all in that tent.
At what point are you going to be able to tell if they're male or female?
If they do end up auto flowering, because remember the last time when I grew these seeds out, I had to switch it to 12-12 because they ended up stretching and stretching and stretching for 90 days, and they never auto flowered. So if they don't auto flower and I have to flip them, I'll probably wait. I'll probably veg them out until they fill up that room, and then or fill up that tent, and then flip it to 12-12, and then once I flip to 12-12, that's when they'll start to either flower or show their sex, if you will. Like, so you'll know when they're male or female. And
then, so you might keep them, you might not.
I'll probably keep 1 male and then pull the rest if there's 1 male, and then whatever if the females left are there, and then leave the male in there for a little while maybe and see what happens. But I'm not gonna try and if it's 17, or let's say there's going to be 12 in that tent, and then there's 5 outside. So if say it's 50-50, I'll just pull 1, and then there'll be 1 male and 5 females, or 6 females. But what I'm hoping for is less males. So if there's only 2 males or 3 males in there, I might just leave them in there and see what happens.
Okay, I know this, like statistically, this is very, very improbable, but let's say you grew them all out and they were all females. What would you do?
Oh, then I'd sell a fucking break. I'd celebrate, because that's a lot. We'd have 12 plants of weed, 12 plants, and
how many are you allowed?
I believe because I have a license, I have more. I'm allowed more, but I have to check the number because it always changes. And I know it might even be different for Burbank, so I have to double check.
But I mean, like, no one's looking around.
There's no plant police coming around looking for your plant, counting your plants, because are you gonna count all my plants? Like, I got a whole garden here. It's fine.
Good. Don't come by counting his plants, guys.
No, well, and really the only time you're gonna come to count the plants is if I'm trying to sell it. And as it says on our Instagram, there's nothing for sale here. Have I ever charged you for any of the weed that we? So there you go.
Just time. He cost me a lot of time, folks.
Listen, man. I pay you in weed. No, but I've been very I'm excited to start this new setup because like you see, I'll show you on the Instagram. Follow us at Canna Grow. I'll do a little video of the Buddha Lounge and how we've kind of changed the setup and cleaned it up. And
it's hot as fuck in there, though.
Oh no, it's hot. It's always hot as fuck in there. That's the greenhouse effect of that whole place.
I know, but it's so noticeable. Like when you're in there.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
But that's how I lost all the weight from my first special. If you see me from my first special in Miscellaneous Brown, I was working out in that hot sauna all the time, and that's why.
When he says he's working out, he was just stressed.
Listen, you are looking directly at my stationary bike and my weightlifting set and my chin-up bar and
Look
my.
a little dusty to me, man.
First of all, I just vacuumed that shit. No, but I'm and it's hard getting old too, man. Shit. Because when we were doing that show in Chicago and we did all that walking, my plantar fasciitis flared back up, and now my shit is weed helps with the pain, but I am still. Shout out to Tony Castro for giving me those massage methods for my feet, because that, oh god. But anyhow, we're talking about plantar fasciitis. We should be talking about weed. So, but go ahead.
No. Like if we're gonna move on to the subjects, it is June. Summer is pretty much. I don't think the summer has officially started, has it?
I think it's Memorial Day. Once Memorial Day passes, then it's summer. So it passed. That was Memorial Day was in May, end of May. So yeah, we're officially into summer, and it's hot in there. So that's why, like, now I'm just vegging in there. You know, that's the only thing I can really do in there. But when I'm vegging in there and it's really hot, guess what? It's like a tropical island, and it's great because I'm going to keep the soil moist, you know, and the humidity a little bit up. But I'm vegging in there, and those plants will grow because they like the heat.
It says here, summer first official day of summer is Thursday, June 20th.
Well, then never mind. Fuck my calendar.
Yeah.
Well, but the unofficial first day of summer is Memorial Day, isn't it?
I don't know. I just know that
my wife is white. Okay, that's what they say.
I know it's summer when it's hot. So, I grew up in LA my whole life. We don't have season changes, but I know when it's hotter.
I know that the average temperature in there in June, July, and August is 100 degrees. Jeez. But it's only 100 degrees in there from about noon until about 4.
Yeah.
And then the temperature drops quick.
Yeah, no, 4 to 5 when the sun's going down is like it'll heat up a little bit because that's the sun just hitting directly.
Right, but then it's
cool.
It's cool in there, and so that's kind of even when I'm drying in there, when it's hot, like when it's above. Because I already know, because I've already monitored the temperature, so I know, like, when it's 75 out, it's like 85 in the room. So I know that in the room, if the fans aren't going, it's stupid hot.
Yeah.
So the fans just are always constantly going. And now I set up the summer fans, if you saw. I set up the summer fans, so there's constant room circulation. So it's not going to be as hot in there, but at the same, I like it. I like the heat because it's a greenhouse. It's a greenhouse for me.
For our listeners that are from like Canada or places that are not U.S., we're using Fahrenheit because I don't know what the hell.
I would never be able to tell you. I can't. I'm not. These are two Asians who can't do math either. Yeah. So we're gonna stick with Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the formula is, bro. I'm totally American. I still use inches and shit.
Like I know that there's gonna be like some Canadian fool who's like 100 degrees. What the hell?
Yeah, I don't. I don't know what it is. It's like 60,
30. I don't know.
I don't fucking know. We don't know. We don't know math. Okay, we're Asian potheads. We're Filipino potheads who don't know math and are not very traveled as far as Celsius and Fahrenheit.
Celsius hot?
I don't know what. You could Google it. You have the world's information in your hand right now.
I'm just lazy. 30 Celsius.
No, but let's talk about the setup because that's kind of the next kind of thing. So I have the small seedling tent, which is where all the seedlings are now. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to let them grow out, and that'll become the auto flower tent once those 12 and or however many grow up into that thing, whether those little seedlings that don't have cotyledon leaves end up growing at all or they die.
What are you saying? I keep hearing
cotyledon leaves are the initial leaves that come out. They're like rounded leaves. They don't look like cannabis leaves at all. When the seed pops out of the soil, those two initial rounded leaves are called cotyledon leaves. But this
sounds like you're trying to wrap that one. What is it? The big pun? Is it Big Pun? Fat Joan? Little Lee?
I don't know. Yeah. or I was watching a Big Hero 6 where they do the no, but the cotyledon leaves. You make fun of the way I'm not making fun. I can say big words, motherfucker.
I know you can. I'm not saying you can.
I can say cannabinoid too. Anyway, so no, but they don't have any leaves when they pop up. But according to the internet, I can just let them grow, and they're going to grow out with the cannabis leaves will eventually pop out of that stem. So we'll see what happens. But if all 12 grow out, they'll be in 1 gallon plastic pots, and they'll grow out in that autoflower tent. The small, it's basically a smaller 4x2 by like 5.5 height tent, and then I got the two 5x3 tents, basically the Spider Farmer 5x3 tents that are like 8 feet tall, or like 7 feet tall. I'm not sure, but those are the two that are the veg tent, which I'm going to be growing some feminized seeds in those 8 pots, and then the 3 big pots. We're gonna go to Buds and Roses, and we're gonna get some genetics.
I wanna find a plant that, because I've seen like in like the seed to harvest videos and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I wanna get one of those plants that's like almost black or iridescent.
Yeah,
where the leaves come off as like different colors.
So there's we can figure out. So I was thinking about. What can we do to include the community in as far as growing with us, And so I thought, like, if you wanted to pick out a seed, or I pick out a seed, and then let the listeners go get that seed, and then we all grow that seed together.
Okay.
So we could do that too. And in as far as looking for, I was, because I know that I'm intrigued by that too. The anthocyanins, that's what instead of chlorophyll, the anthocyanins is what turns the leaves purple and or red and or orange or any other things. So if you notice, like even in the blueberry bush that I just planted, there's like a bluish or reddish kind of tint to the leaves. So I knew that there's anthocyanins in this plant already. It's good genetics. So I'm gonna grow it and see what happens. But there's a particular Google it on your phone right now. It's from the Humboldt Seed Company, and it's called the PPD, which stands for Purple Panty Dropper.
Oh, sorry. Just off thing. 30 Celsius is 86 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, so there you go. See?
Sorry. And then what am I looking for?
So Google Humboldt Seed Company, and then go PPD.
All right. Don't think company.
And I was thinking about growing that. They have an autoflower that we could grow out, or we could do the feminized version, and we could grow that out too. Because
this is like purple.
Yeah, purple.
Like really vivid purple.
Yeah, we'll post the pictures on our Instagram, Canna Kuya Grow. But yeah, that I was thinking about that, and maybe we could do a little poll on our Instagram, and I'll pick. Like I know I'm thinking about the strawberry cough from Homegrown Seed Company. I'm thinking about the Jedi cookies from Homegrown Seed Company. I'm also looking at a Skywalker OG from any company of some type, and then I'm looking for. And then there's a plethora of stuff from the Humboldt Seed Company that I would love to grow, from Hella Jelly, Feminized Seed, to that PPD, the Purple Panty Dropper, or even I'd grow mint jelly again. Like I'd want to get some more autoflowers of that mint jelly, because I'd like to see if I can grow that out and grow it bigger and better. Because that mint jelly was bomb, wasn't it?
I just love like freaking weed strain names. Like you can, like I want to be the guy who makes up the names for some of these weed weed types.
Well, I already know what name. I already know I have a few of, for me, like, I know what the name of my strains are going to be. Because they're going to mostly be Skywalker strains, like crosses. So, and then there probably going to be some purples in there. Because I like
Jar Jar Binks OG.
No, Mace Windu, dude. Mace Windu. I'm surprised that nobody has named a strain after Mace Windu. He's the coolest fucking Jedi. Samuel L. Jackson with a purple lightsaber. Come on, I mean that's like the shit, man.
I want an Ahsoka Tano.
You want some like White Widow with her? I don't know. Oh no, she's orange, isn't she?
She's orange. She'd be like an orange creamsicle.
Yeah, orange. So there you go. Orange creamsicles.
Ahsoka Tano
with some Jedi cookies because she's a little bit of a Girl Scout too. So there you go. Because we could cross Jedi cookies with creamsicle,
and you get the Marvel.
Hey, you know what? We're already copywritten already, but
Yeah, here you want to smoke Deadpool's balls?
I would. Yeah, I would. I would love that. I would love that strain or Wolverine's nuts. Come on, man. I'd smoke the shit out of that. I'm just saying. Those are some good names for you guys. Yeah. If you can't think of names, those are some names that we're gonna be playing around with when we get our own strain.
Hey, you pick up that Avengers Ultimate. What?
What
is that?
Listen, I'm saying we get paired with Disney. They're gonna let us smoke at Disneyland. We're gonna figure it out.
You know what would be dope? Okay, let's say you had like an infinity gauntlet like of weed, right? So you got your power OG, you got your soul stone, right? And then you got to bring them all together, right?
Well, so what? Okay, so what are your top 5 strains?
Top 5 strains?
Yeah, that you've ever smoked that you can remember.
Ever smoked?
That you can remember.
Okay, the ones that I remember like having an effect where I was like, "Ooh, this is crazy," right? Like this is not normal. Let's see it. Like I've smoked some really good Louis the 13th.
Louis the 13th is always good.
Grape Ape.
You always mention Grape Ape.
That's because that's the one that like it's memorable.
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah, for sure.
I remember that one.
And it's purple, and it's the whole thing, everything, the aesthetic, everything about Grape Ape is awesome.
There was I had a Mars OG one time.
Okay.
That was like because I remember there was like a whole bunch of different ones named after the planets. So there was a Mars one that was really good. Green Crack.
Now see, I can't fuck with Green Crack.
Why?
The times that I've smoked Green Crack, it was like a hard sativa, and it made my heart race.
Oh.
Yeah, like Green Crack and Trainwreck, both those strains are like my least favorite strains. Even in the form that I smoked them, because I smoked them back in the day in the early, in the early 2000s when I first moved here. So that shit wrecked me for real. Like I had heart palpitations with Trainwreck, and I had a mean fucking headache with Green Crack. Oh. It was bad. So I was like, and that's just goes to show that you could be like a pothead where you smoke every day, all the days, and some weed is just doesn't. It just not gonna. You're not gonna want it. It's not gonna agree with you because chemically it's just not your bag.
What else? And then I've had really good Northern Lights.
Northern Lights is good.
Yeah, I've had really good Northern Lights because it's like light and like. What I remember about Northern Lights is like because I got it from I had it when I was in Seattle and it was just really piney. It was just it had that like.
I want to grow something piney because I like that smell, that fresh smell tree. Yeah, I like that. My 5 are my number 5 is the Leafly strain of the year. It was the best weed that I tried last year. Permanent Marker.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
And then the next best strain that I tried last year was Cereal Milk, which I remember. And Cereal Milk is there was a Cereal Milk from it's for sure Permanent Marker from Cam by Cam was the bomb. Cereal Milk, there were 2 or 3 different cereal milks. I got a cereal milk from Exhalants, and there's another cereal milk, but I can't remember the name of the brand. But I smoked the 2 different, and both times very consistent, really good. And then Skywalker, OG,
classic.
Lamb's Bread,
You always
sativa.
like,
I was there.
You like that Marley strain.
Yeah, I like that Marley strain. But also, that's one. It's like a predominantly, I believe, sativa strain, and it's a sativa strain that is a good sativa strain for me, because there are some sativa strains like Trainwreck and Green Crack that aren't as good for me.
That's how, like, I felt like when we spoke the mint jelly, that was like a good upper.
Yeah, that's why I want to grow it again. That mint jelly is, and then the number one for me is that first round of Gelato 33 that we ever smoked.
No, but that first hit, like that, where you thought
where you kind of like
soul left my body.
That's what I'm saying. That weed when from the initial mother plant of Gelato 33, that was the best weed I've ever smoked in my life.
Yeah, that was a trip, because it did make me like it zoned me out for like 3 seconds. Like it was like it was like a salvia hit.
It was a really good.
I've
it
never
was
had
really
salvia.
good weed, and I smoked it. I smoked 2 jars of that in less than a month. It was such good weed. But that's like my holy grail, where I can that's what I go reach for. So I'm gonna obviously we can play with all those genetics that you talked about. We can play with all the genetics that I talked about, and we can grow it, and we can see if we can't find another unicorn like we did with the Gelato 33.
And then we'll have a taste test and be like, all right, who picked the better strain?
Well, because I have we have 8 pots set up in the veg tent, right, for the feminized seeds. So we could potentially grow, I'd like to grow at least 2 of each strain, but we could potentially grow 4 different strains in there, and then see what happens, because they vary in height, and but you could do that, because now I know how to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Out of all the strains that you've grown so far, which one was the easiest? Which one gave you the most problems?
The easiest was the mint jelly autoflowers from Humboldt Seed Company, because I literally just put those in the pot and fertilize them every month, and then obviously a little bit of Ventana Plant Science nutrients, and they grew so easily. And then you smoked it. You sampled. What turned out. So, and each plant gave like a jar and a half of weed. So like each one averaged about 50 grams of weed.
And then the most difficult one to maintain or grow?
The Gelato 33 was the most difficult to maintain, for sure, because I obviously didn't maintain it. I wasn't able to maintain the genetics. It's gone now, and whatever we have as far as the last of the clones, that's the last of the Gelato 33 that I got. So that was the hardest to maintain, but the hardest to grow was the Lion's Claw that now I popped 17 seeds of. Yeah. But the only reason it was the hardest to grow was because I was expecting from the packaging that it was an autoflower, and then it turned out not to be, and I ended up growing it for 90 days. So when a normal veg period is 60 days, and you end up vegging it for 90 days, and then they grew too big for the dang tent.
Yeah, I remember you were so concerned about like
there was mold and everything. That was the toughest, and then it was the toughest also because it was the longest. Because can you imagine? I vegged those for 90 days, and then I had to veg them for another 8, and then I had to flower them for another 8 weeks. So that was like 6 months of growing.
That's a long time.
It was too long. So that was the hardest. But now that I know what to expect from these, so that if they do end up not auto flowering, then I'll just flip them the flower, and then I'm just growing out regulars, and then I'll figure out once they start to flower, if they're male or female, pull out the males and figure it out. But yeah, the only reason it was hard was because I didn't know, but now once you know and you learn, now it's just putting seeds in soil and, maintaining the plants as you would any plant that you want to grow big.
When you started, on a scale of 1 to 10, where were you at? Like
a 4.
What would you consider your skills at a 4? Okay, and then from a 4 to where you're at now?
A 7.
A 7?
Yeah.
And you going for a perfect 10, or you're cool with like?
No, I'm cool with like a 9, 9.5. Okay. No, but like if I can on a consistent basis get big yield, good weed, crystally bud, and also maintain the temperature in there and maintain the seasons in there and know how to do it. Because I'm not trying to move anytime soon. I kind of want to. This is kind of the environment that I'm learning how to grow in. So if I can learn how to grow in that environment, to where sometimes it can be almost too hot, and then sometimes it can be almost too cold because it's outside. If I can do that and figure that out, then because that's the hybrid, that's kind of the hybrid growing system that I kind of have to learn. So if I can learn that, I can probably grow anywhere. Because if I can grow in a house where I have a room dedicated to it, where I can maintain the temperature, that's almost easier. That's so much easier. But yeah, so I'm like a 9.5 is where I'd like to go.
So all right, okay, cool. All right, so let's change it up. So like I kind of got distracted, but like in terms of like what
you got
see,
distracted, or the Gelato 33 still hits good?
it hits good.
No, it like I said, the subsequent clones didn't yield nearly as much, and the quality of the weed wasn't as good as the original mother. So that was like I said, that's the hardest. And I think maintaining genetics is a hard thing to do. Like, you have to really know how to clone, and you have to have a suitable environment for the clones. And my environment isn't necessarily a good environment. I might need to set up like a small, like indoor cloning tent where it's really a 75 constant degrees.
Ooh, your wife's going to get angry.
No, because they'll be veg tent. They'll be fine. It won't smell anything. And
All right.
I'm really not thinking about buying another tent. We'll see. We'll see if we do that, but I don't think that's
not anytime soon.
Not anytime soon. No, I don't have any money to do that anyway, unless y'all start subscribing to the podcast.
For summer plans, anything you want to accomplish for summer goals? Anything you want?
Well, I do want to get our live karaoke comedy cannabis show up and running again. Okay. That's one thing. Put that out there. The whole keep learning this whole environment and growing. But also I've kind of got the whole setup now. So I had perpetual for the past 6 months, and now we're going to go for a big fall harvest using the summer heat in there to grow these out to the biggest and baddest plants I've ever grown, and we'll see what happens.
Nice.
But yeah, that's all the summer plans I have. I'll be at the Phil-Am Friendship Day in San Diego on July 13th. If you guys are listening to this and are looking for ways to see me live and buy Canna Kuya merch, we'll also be at Mic Drop the day after this podcast drops.
So what's today? Today
the 13th. We'll be there we'll be at Mic Drop on the 13th at 10 p.m. in the Golden Room. We'll both be there hanging out.
We'll be back at the end of the month
for Ube World. So
that one's gonna be fun.
There's a bunch of stuff that we're coming up, and I'm excited about the performances, but I'm also excited about the grows, and I'm excited about talking with you about the grows, and I'm excited about going, because next episode we're gonna be going to Buds and Roses, and we're gonna be picking up some genetics to fill up one of the tents. We get some clones and go forward with that.
Yep, that's us.
And Mitch is going to grow with us. He's going to grow. I'm going to technically be growing.
Technically Eric's going to grow, but I will at least invest in a clone.
Well, and he's going to you're going to choose which genetics you want. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe they might have a grape ape clone there.
I'm going to talk to the plants and then see which ones I vibe with.
And then who knows? That might be better than Gelato 33 when it grows all the way out. Who knows?
If only. I can get you to stop talking about that. No,
the Gelato 33, the Larry Bird cut.
God damn it, Eric!
You're the one who reminded me from that Larry Bird. Go ahead. I'm just saying because I did want to use that fuck Boston clip from what's it called? But it looks like you're not going to be able to fuck Boston because Boston's about to win the NBA championship this year.
I mean,
so it's really a Gelato 33 Larry Bird year for everybody all around.
It's okay. I mean, Boston, whatever. I mean, who has more?
You sound like Drake on the Hard Part 6 right now.
How many? I mean, I'm just saying. How many? Do we have more titles? Does LA have more titles at this point?
It's true. Hey, and by the way, before we go, do you think we should try and get tickets for that Juneteenth concert?
For what?
Kendrick's gonna be at the Forum on June 19th, and he's gonna be performing.
Oh my god, those tickets are gonna be so expensive.
They're already sold out.
Yeah,
they're already sold. I think there's 40,000 seats available, and 100,000 people requested tickets. So,
oh my god.
Yeah. So anyway. A little hip hop update from the beef that we talked about a while ago, because people have been listening to that cannabis and hip hop episode where we talked about the Kendrick beef and about our favorite hip hop albums. Mm-hmm. So maybe next episode we should do more pop culture stuff too.
Yeah, we can.
Like we could talk about The Acolyte, because I know I smoked before I watched it.
I smoked before I watch everything. So yeah, we'll do that. Well, guys, you've been listening to the Canna podcast, where we are cultivating conversations concerning cannabis, culture, and creativity. I'm Mitch Narito.
And it is Eric Esteban. Come grow with us, man.
Don't forget to like, subscribe. You can check out our Patreon. Is that up yet?
Not yet.
Okay, well, you can check it out when we have it up.
No, it's all slow going, but also I don't want to kind of inundate people, because we have a small but growing audience, and I'm not trying to ask you guys for money yet, but I know that if you like this content, please, again, we're gonna ask every time at the end, write a review and send us a screen cap of the review, and I will send you a Canna t-shirt.
No one has claimed that yet.
No, but I understand it because you go, oh, okay, I'm gonna do it. I listen and I'm gonna do it, and then but do it like right now after because we're about to sign off. So open up the app where you're listening to, and look for the place where you write a review on there, and then write a review, and then when it gets accepted and we see it, and you see it on the podcast as a review that's posted, screen cap it and send it to us.
At this point, you don't even need to put a full sentence. You could just go on there and just put good and then 5 stars.
and get a free t-shirt for good.
Yeah.
Or, get a couple. No, don't. It's going to only be the first person to send, because we have limited inventory of these shirts to begin with.
Guys, I don't want to be the first one and just have Eric give me a shirt.
He already has all 3 shirts, guys. He doesn't have, we can't do it. And you already did write, you were one of the first people to write a review about, you said, I might be, what did you write? You said, I might be biased, but these guys are cool.
Dude, we have to get some merch that says Canna, because like I gave a couple of shirts to some people, and then like they were telling me like they were getting asked about the shirts all day.
Oh no, yeah, no, Grambo too. I'd rather not, because then they tell them to go on Canna Instagram. Tell them to go to the Canna Instagram and follow us.
All right. Well, for all the Canna and the marijuana artists, this has been us. Stay lifted.
Stay elevated. Peace, y'all.
Have a good one, everybody.
Yeah, I got my hoodie on, now peep the chest as human catalyst. Downtown Chula Vista, on 3rd Ave where I go cop some shit. Fuck a thief, so fuck zoomies, yeah, they whack ass jacket shit. Yeah, I move too swift, so I'm striking silence. Fuck the violence, man, check my mileage, cause I got driving. First tour, I drove 6 states, never thought I'd be there right by my side, man. What a time it is to be alive. See, I'm charged up, feeling energized, do the enterprise, move supersize. Y'all extra like a side of fries. Whoa, false guys who you idolize, yeah, go against us, I would not advise. We the highest in the room, just look up, boys, and you can find us. Our song should have more plays, but we too though, they rewind us. All my targets lined up, every day my girl get fined up. All my clothes is local, bitch, I really rock designer.
Gang, highest in the room, yo, we get fucked up. Ay, you can count on Trey, can't bring the loud back. Ay, get us in the stew and that's game over. Western Metal Building, that's a home run. Yeah, keep the up or leave the fuck a Folgers. Little bitch, I made the beat and dropped the full verse. I just hit a steelo, I got dripped up. Package born and raised, bitch, I got dripped up. Y no se compara. Yo estoy con mi pana, se llama Drake, fumando ganja. Estamos con Cali, fumando en Cali, yo sé que traen ganas. Ella me dice papi, que terminamos la cama. Highest in the room, yeah, we get fucked up. You can count on Trey Cap, bring the loud pack. Get us in the stew and that's game over. Western Metal Building, that's a home run.
Yeah, we got hits like Tatis and Machado. Man, we know you're not a leader, cause all our moves you just follow, packing big bowls. You know we just scooped up that gelato, cause I smoke killer. My shirt iller, yo, ask our dealer, we the highest in the room. Just look up once and you can find us. Our song should have more plays, but we too though, they rewind us. All my targets lined up, every day my girl get fined up. All my clothes is local, bitch, I rarely rock designer,